This week I was reading on social media about this new diagram that is going to replace the product roadmap because product roadmaps are static and old-fashioned. And I have to admit, a lot of the stuff that I read I find a bit naive, and sometimes I even find myself getting a little bit irritated. So I thought about this and had a moment of clarity and connected a few dots and thought I would share that with you today. Hi, I am Greg with Prickrell Consulting. And my key epiphany was that the way product roadmaps are used in B2B is a big superset of the way they're used in B2C. So let me explain that. In B2C, the roadmap is used primarily for internal alignment. How do I know that? Well, if I look at the product management platforms out there, almost all of them, all the ones that I have found, represent the product roadmap as a Gantt chart. Well, guess what? Most customers don't care about your Gantt chart. They don't care how long it takes you to develop something. That's an inward-facing data item and too much information for folks outside. And in the B2B space, they don't care at all. We'll go into that a little bit more, but most B2C products don't even really have a roadmap. They might have some high-level marketing material that shows the direction they're going, but in terms of purchasing decisions, it's not critical. Let's contrast that with what happens in B2B, where customers may be making multi-million-dollar bets, 10-year bets on your product. They need to know when they're getting what for a few reasons. First of all, the roadmap fuels buying decisions. It's very rare in the complex problem space for your product to do really everything the customer wants. So the way you sell software or digital products today is to show them a roadmap and convince them that you will deliver on it. I would go so far as to say in the B2B space, customers buy the roadmap more than they buy the current version of the product. And that's really important. And another really relevant fact is that implementing new versions of products in the B2B space can cost customers millions of dollars and take months or years. So from a planning perspective, they need to know when they're going to get stuff. And failure to deliver could be existential to them. It could mean they miss a market opportunity or that it costs them so much to adapt to something new that they are no longer a viable business. So the stakes are much higher in B2B. We use roadmaps to align internally for sure. It's a great way to do that, but we typically have multiple versions of the roadmap, and there is a special version that we share with customers that has quite a bit of detail that makes commitments to dates, because if we didn't, we wouldn't be able to sell our product, the market and customers wouldn't be able to plan, and we would simply go out of business. So what I would say is to B2B product managers, remember that in B2C companies, the product roadmap is primarily inward facing. That's the purpose it serves. It helps align PM and engineering, executive leadership, and a bunch of other roles. To B2C product managers, I would remind you that in the B2B space, things are very complicated. And customers buy the roadmap. And once they've bought the roadmap, they have to be able to plan. That's where a lot of the rigor around the product roadmap comes from. By the way, that has a lot of implications for how we look at Agile, Scrum, and those kinds of things. So I will address that in another vlog. I will see you next time.